Gentlemen, welcome back to my layout. Alright, so this is part B of building the curved bridge for the layout. We are over the other side of the table now on the single line bridge here. So you can see as I put my hands under the bridge here how close it is actually to the lake bottom. So what I've done is I've decided to, before the bridge is now permanently mounted, I've gone ahead and lined it all with the plaster cloth. And I'm probably going to wait for this to dry, then I'm going to sand it back a little bit, and then I'll be hitting it maybe with some colors. And then what that will allow me to do is not have this bridge in the way, which obviously I'd get plaster and paint all over and it'd just be nasty. So the sanding and the painting of the lake bed, now that can be done at another time. So what we're going to concentrate on today is trying to get a little bit more further along with this bridge. So if we refer back to that picture again, the example one of the truss bridge, and it shows that it has like timber beams on top. Now, what I've sourced is this. This is like a hardwood, it's a 3mm by 3mm hardwood piece, and I believe it's actually walnut. Now the plan is obviously cut these into sections and I glue them across the bridge. Now because this is 3mm high, that's going to allow me to bring in the cork road bed at the same height, and then I'll have to work out a way to glue the track on. Alright, so we're over at the workbench now, and I've got a little hobby sized miter box, and I've clamped that to the table, and then I've used two little clamps to clamp a bit of balsa wood on there, and that's going to act as a stopper for cutting the 3x3mm. So what I'm planning to do is cut these into say 30mm sections, and taking some time and setting up this little miter box is going to ultimately save me a lot of time in the end. Alright, now so we've cut up a bunch of the beam sections, and to center this on the bridge what we're going to do is make a little jig. So the bridge itself is 11mm wide and the beam section is 30mm. So if we minus the 11 from 30, that gives us 19, and divide that in half is 9.5. So the distance here is 9.5mm across the jig, and I should just be able to position that next to the bridge, and that will give me an even gap either side. Now because the bridge is curved, this is going to make life a lot easier. As it curves around, this is going to allow me to keep them even as it goes along. Alright, so I started gluing them down now. So what I've done is I've glued one on the finish on one side and the finish on the other side, and I'm just going to start making my way to the center of the bridge. So when I get near the center, I'll probably have to adjust the gap size, but at the moment what I'm using is another piece of 3x3mm, so it's basically going to be a beam, 3mm gap, beam, 3mm gap, and so forth. Okay, so as you can see, all the timber beams now are glued in position and ready to go. Now let me show you how I'm going to glue this track down. So we're getting close to finishing the bridge now, and I've got to work out a way we're putting the track down, and I want to do walkways on either side of the bridge as well. So what I've done is got a bit of track, and I have cut the sleepers off along both sides. Now what's going to happen is I'll lay that down on top, and what I've got is some 1mm by 1mm hardwood. This is actually a walnut. I'm going to lay that either side like decking. Now let me just explain why I'm actually going down this route. I originally thought about removing the tires here and gluing the track directly to the timber, but because the bridge is curved and trying to keep those two metal tracks engaged, I thought it's probably going to be more problems than it's worth. Alright, so the walkway now is done both sides, so let's zoom in and take a closer look at this. Okay, so you can see the walkway there done on both sides. Now you can still see the plastic ties here in the center, so what I'm thinking is I'll take some of this walkway material and we'll glue it into the center, and that should finish it off nicely. Okay guys, so to wrap up the video, I'll just show you that this piece of track here is actually removable. I plan to run the flex track across here in one piece. That way I won't end up with rail joiners sitting either side of here of the bridge. So that pretty much finishes this bridge. I've still got the double mainline bridge to do on the other side of the table, and I need to get stuck into that as well. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.